And I've like, yeah, even just doing a bit of gigging and stuff, I'm like, oh man, I think this would lose so much of its charm if I was doing this.
Soundtrack.
It's something that people don't realise about doing music professionally is it does evolve, some might say devolve, into the mundane.
Yeah.
You know.
Job, yeah.
I mean, there's far worse things you can be doing on a mundane level, right? But equally, to a certain extent, what I miss about, because once you take the professional pill, you can't unswallow it.
Sure.
And sometimes I wish I still had that innocent love that I had as a teenager about music. I knew nothing and I sucked, but I was blissfully unaware of that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Well, like, I don't think of myself as not to devalue myself, but like performing and stuff was never a huge desire of mine to be like, oh, I want to be up on the stage crushing it. I'm like, I enjoyed doing it, like, you know, over mics and doing some gigging is sort of to like demystify that. Yeah. Be like, oh yeah, I can do this. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm much more attracted to the songwriting side of it instead of everything else. But
I think we've fallen in general society, we've fallen into this, what I think is an incorrect view that for something to have value, there has to be money attached to it. Yes. And I know you don't approach things like that. Like there is really high levels of value for you in what you do, the writing, because you do use it as a form of expression. Yeah. And one could venture the thought that it would almost devalue it for you. Yeah. To put a monetary value on it.
100%. If I recorded it and then I said, oh, it's only got this many views, and I'm looking through, like, at that art through that lens, it's easy to say that was a good or a bad album. Yeah. Versus, that was a learning process. Now I can be better at what I do. I can enjoy it. And yeah, as I said, it's like a remedial process.
But isn't it funny though? Like let's say even if you don't learn anything, though every life experience has a learning, but it is almost like it doesn't even have to have a learning attached to it. Yeah. It actually can be a value just because it is.
I totally agree with what you're outlining. Yeah. Like in my early 20s, just mucking around, like I did like my wood sculpting and I did some art stuff, and it's just like, this will be fun, let's try this. Yeah. And I was like, I'm obviously not as good as professional carpenter who's been doing it his whole life. Yeah. But yeah, it's a good thing to do.
It's a good thing to do. And it has inherent value just by doing it.
Yeah. And to maintain like the intrinsic motivation rather than change that into the extrinsic.
Because I think the moment we place a monetary value on it, actually what we're allowing is for it to have extrinsic value, because the only way you can place a monetary value, supply and demand, how much is someone else willing to pay for that item, song. So we're in this scenario where music on a monetary basis has been so devalued that you don't probably want to go down that road anyway.
Yeah, well, I think I probably subconsciously had that conversation with myself. And I was like, I like music, but it's not a career I want to pursue. Yeah. Because I think I was realistic enough with myself to be like, this is extremely difficult. There were not win-loss, but like success, failure rate is tough.
And very, very tough. I mean, acknowledging some people, it is the road that they take. Yeah. And for a very, very small group, they do make some good dollar, some sustainable dollar from it. But I think the idea that that's what you have to do for it to have value is a misnomer.